Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to discuss Kamala Das's poem The Freaks. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin this interesting journey. Kamala Das, also known as Kamala Suraya, was an Indian poet and writer who lived in Kerala. She is renowned for her bold and expressive poetry that often explores the themes of love and the complexity of human relationships. She is considered a significant figure in Indian English literature, and her works often challenge the norms of the society. Before we proceed with this poem, I want to draw your attention to the meaning of the title of the poem, The Freaks, because it refers to people who feel like they are outsiders, they don't belong to the society. And in this poem particularly, the freaks is mentioned in the context of relationships and love. In this poem, the speaker describes herself as a freak because she feels that she is different from what the society expects in terms of love and intimacy. You could imagine a group of friends who all seem to effortlessly find romantic partners and build successful relationships. They are getting married, they are having children, but there is one person who feels like a freak because he or she is not being able to fit into the usual pattern of romantic behavior. Despite efforts, she is not being able to establish a deep connection or sustain her relationship, which sets this person apart from the rest of the group. Similarly, in the poem also, we feel that the speaker is like a freak because she cannot find the love and intimacy that she desires despite putting in so many efforts. So, it makes her feel alienated from the expectations of the society. To talk about a little bit on the background of the poem, it deals with the complexities of human relationships, how human beings struggle when they are in a relationship, when they are trying to pursue love and intimacy. The poem reflects on the speaker's encounter with a man and her own sense of identity as she is struggling with the expectations of the society and her personal desires. So therefore we see that this poem is going to deal with a sense of confusion, disappointment, disillusionment that arises from failed attempts at love and intimacy. So it explores the idea of individuals who start feeling like freaks because they are not being able to establish genuine connection and fulfillment in relationships. Here is the poem for you at a glance, and now we will soon start decoding the line by line meaning of the poem. Let us now decode the line by line meaning of the poem. He talks, turning a sun-stained cheek to me, his mouth a dark cavern where stalactites of uneven teeth gleam, his right hand on my knee, while our minds are willed to race towards love. So basically, what do we see over here in this few lines of the poem? We see that the poet is talking about, or rather the speaker describes, a man engaging in a conversation. His skin is marked by sun's rays. The dark man turns his cheeks towards the speaker, revealing his mouth. And this expression, the complexion of the face of this particular person is dark, conveying a sense of mystery. Okay, now whoever was dark skinned, in today's times we are no longer supposed to discriminate a person based on their skin color, but why were the African American people in the earlier times considered to be unimportant to the society? Because they were thought to be dark, mysterious people who were probably capable of doing black magic. So these were some kind of random superstitions which were associated with the African American people. And over here also, because of the complexion, the face color being stained because of that sun, there is a sense of tanning which conveys darkness and mystery. And this darkness of the face is compared to a cavern. A cavern is a cave, and here the speaker is saying there are stalactites of uneven teeth. So the teeth of the speaker are also not in a proper shape, they are uneven. I'll show you a picture of what stalactites are in a moment. You will be able to see that just as these things are hanging, similarly the teeth are uneven in shape, so there is no way in which it is adding any kind of beauty to the face of the other person. His right hand on my knee, while our minds are willed to race towards love. So the man places his hand on the speaker's knee, suggesting advancement for intimacy, but there is a disconnection in the in terms of their relationship. So what happens is, two people come together, they are trying to get intimate, coming close to each other so that they can express their love to each other, but they are feeling disconnected. They are not being able to express their desire to feel the love deeply and passionately. See, basically stalactites are, it's like a mineral formation that hangs from the ceilings of caves, hot springs, or man-made structures like bridges and mines. Okay, you can see the picture clearly on your screen, and imagine the teeth of the other person is being described like this. So basically it's not showing something scary, okay, it's not like a horror movie description. Basically what they are trying to convey over here is that the lover or the other person is not at all looking attractive physically. We are always told, whether a man or a woman, you are always supposed to be well groomed, and I think it is a very good practice. This is not just when you are trying to attract the attention of the other gender. No, that is not the case. But in general also, you should stay well groomed. Your nails should be clean and trimmed, hair neatly done, and all the things of the kind. It gives yourself it makes you feel good, and it gives a pleasant appearance as well. But over here what's happening is that as it is, there is no connection being felt in the relationship between the two people, and on top of that, what is happening, the appearance of the other person is also very unattractive, so it is not being able to help them to connect deeply. But they only wander, tripping idly over puddles of desire. Can this man with nimble fingertips unleash nothing more alive than the skin's lazy hungers? So basically, over here, the speaker is saying that instead of focusing on love, their thoughts wander aimlessly, stumbling over superficial desires. That is, there is never a connection which is being deeply established. They are just talking on the surface, on a superficial level. There is no deep connection. Their thoughts are wandering aimlessly. There is a very casual kind of a connection which is there between them, which is extremely shallow. The poem emphasizes the shallow nature of their desires. That is, it's very, very superficial. It lacks depth. The speaker questions whether the man is at all capable of evoking deeper emotions. She wonders if this touch can at all arouse anything beyond physical desires, because from the way the lines of the poem are written, it seems that there is a chance taken to establish a physical connection between the two. However, that physical connection is just on a bodily, superficial level. Deeply, they are never able to feel something for each other. Next, the speaker goes on to say, who can help us who have lived so long and have failed in love? So basically over here, the speaker is talking about the limitation of physical desire alone, that it is not just physical intimacy that can take a relationship forward and make it sustain. There have to be other things also which help to develop a deeper connection. She reflects on the struggles of those who have experienced disappointment in love for so long. There are many relationships who are just struggling. You will never see people to be completely satisfied, and that is a general observation being made by the speaker also, that those who have experienced repeated failures in love find their hearts empty. If you see that you have not been able to have a successful relationship, not one, not two, after a point it drains you, and then you are hardly left with anything. You become empty, so, and you start feeling insecure and scared, and you don't want to continue going into any other kind of relationship, because you feel you will not get back that trust, you are going to be cheated again, or you are not going to feel satisfied again, and the same thing you will have to go on again and again. So she reflects on this struggle and disappointment which has been experienced by people, right? An empty cistern waiting through long hours fills itself. That is, the heart is compared to an empty cistern or an empty container waiting to be filled over time, but there is no other person's love and connection which is able to fill itself. You remember, there is a thing that is said that time heals. You need to give things time, and automatically you heal. What happens? The heart learns to adjust, and gradually you see that you are being able to make peace whenever you have been cut off. It is not just a man-woman relationship. It is also, you can take the example to relate better. If you lose someone who was very dear to you, after a point you see that you learn to live without the presence of that person, maybe in 2 months, 6 months, based on the intensity of the connection that you had with that person. But you'll see that you always will be left with that emptiness, that void within you, with coiling snakes of silence. I'm a freak. So instead of getting that fulfillment, there is a sense of suffocation, silence, disappointment. This is the void, the emptiness that I'm talking about. That space will never be complete, because you lost that father figure or whoever it is. So the speaker admits over here feeling like a social outcast. That is why the speaker uses the word freak. That is, the speaker feels that on a social level, generally people are happy, they are satisfied in relationships, but because she has not been able to be happy in a relationship, she feels like an outsider. She feels that she is different, and there is something that has left her incomplete. However, to save my face, I flaunt at times. That is, to maintain a good appearance, she sometimes exaggerates her desires and occasionally displays her exaggerated lust to cover her insecurities and loneliness. We can say that the poem deals with the theme of disillusionment and feeling disappointed in love. The speaker thinks about the failed attempts at finding someone who would be genuine or be able to establish a genuine or true love and intimacy, highlighting the gap that is there between desire and reality. Despite longing or yearning for a deep connection, the speaker experiences unfulfillment, leading to feeling confused, dazed, and disillusioned. In the poem, we see the speaker struggling with a sense of alienation, feeling alone, and also feeling the otherness. She feels like a freak, an outsider. She is unable to conform to the rules, the norms of the society, the expectations of the society regarding love and relationships. This sense of feeling different, otherness, stems from the speaker's inability to find genuine connection and fulfillment with the traditional romantic frameworks which have been there in the society for very long, and therefore she feels that she is very different, and not a good different, a sad, a bad kind of a different, making her feel very alone in the society. And lastly, the poem contrasts between the superficial desires and physical attractions with the deeper longing for emotional connection and fulfillment in relationships. While the speaker acknowledges that yes, there are physical desires and lust, she craves and yearns for something more profound and meaningful. Physicality is not the only aspect of a relationship, so therefore she wants to be loved. The poem therefore highlights the tension that exists between the surface level attraction and the deeper emotional complexity which is there in human relationships, emphasizing the speaker's quest or a desire for depth amidst the superficial modern day romance, right? So we see how the poem is very relevant, because in today's times that is what has become the situation of relationships. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.